Hello, I'm Aaron, the creator of the Green Thumb game, and I just focus on family friendly and family fun type games. This is a simple game of trying to grow plants in your garden space, which will be right in here. Now, I've got my hand of cards open face here so we can kind of get an idea of how to play. So, how do you win? Well, there's a couple ways to win because I didn't want to nail it down to just one way because that's boring. So you can either win by being the first person to close out the game by growing 3 plants and making sure that no one else has 3 plants or any plant parts or any points at all, and you win. That is a little bit of skill to be able to do that. The second way to win, which is going to be the most common way to win, is to try to grow your plants as tall and robust in your garden as possible, giving you the most points so that when someone closes out the game by completing 3 plants, you are left with the most points when all the points are added up. In case of a tie, however, which has actually happened a couple times when we were testing this game, you will count how many plant parts you have in your hand versus how many plant parts the person with a tie has, and the person with the most plant parts in their hand is the winner. So when you first open the box, what you'll notice is that there are 2 different decks. You have the Flower Shop deck, which has flower tops, which I think that's backwards, and you have roots, however you say it, you've got those. Obviously, when you're building a plant, you want to start out with some roots and then grow some plant parts and then finally cap it off. So if I were to do that, I would have some roots, and cap it off with a matching flower top. Now, there's 3 different colors. There's red, there's blue, and there's green. I might change the green to a different color because most plants are green, so that's kind of weird. All right, so you have that. So you want to go ahead and shuffle that deck, and you want to line out 4 cards here. So this is the Flower Shop deck, and this is the Flower Shop lineup. Then you'll notice the second deck is the Action deck. This has all of your parts in it. In this deck, you will have some stems, you'll have some leaves, you'll have some fruit, and you notice that they have a point value. Fruit, of course, being the most points. So this also has actions. It has various take that type elements. This is a take that type game. And so you have fruit bugs, and you have fruit bugs that match the fruit flower part. You have leaf bugs, and you have stem bugs. You also have various diseases that are kind of like the bugs. This one here is a fruit disease. Now, throughout the game, your opponents will start to put fruit bugs, stem bugs, leaf bugs on your plant if your plant happens to have those elements, and the disease or bug has to match the element that you're putting it on. And they're trying to keep you from growing your plant any further. There's always a matching cure for what happens to you. Someone puts bugs on me, I have good bugs, and this matches all the types of bugs. So if I have good bugs, I can get rid of any type of bug. And if they put a disease on you, like a fruit disease, you can put some neem oil. Now, let's just say, now to get started, you're going to go ahead and shuffle these decks. You're going to shuffle this deck. Everyone is going to get 5 of these action cards to start their hand out. The first player to go is the person who has recently picked their nose in public and is willing to admit it. So that's the person to start. And they'll go ahead and start by drawing 2 and playing 2. So that is how a play goes. You're going to draw 2, you're going to play 2. You're going to draw 2, you're going to play 2. So if you ever forget what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to draw 2 and you're going to play 2. It's very simple. The rhythm starts to go pretty fast from player to player, so you're not going to have to sit there and wonder when it's going to be your turn next. This game plays best at 3 to 4 players. And so if you get any more than 4, it starts to bog down. If you get any less than 3, it goes by really, really fast. I think one of the games I played 3 minutes. So it's a very fast game. And so you'll start out, I'm going to go ahead and start out by, I can either draw 2 from the end, the outermost cards in this lineup, or I can draw 2 from the action deck, or I can do a mixture of that. I can draw 1 from here and 1 from here and put those directly into my hand. But for this case, I see that there's a root, a blue root, and a blue flower top. So that's a good bet to get a good plant started. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those and put them into my hand, which again is face open for this demonstration. Usually I would have those to myself so no one else can tell what I have. I'm going to go ahead and slide those down and replenish the flower shop line for the next person's turn. But I've only drawn 2 on my turn. Now I can play 2. So I definitely want to put some roots out and maybe a plant part. These can go in any order that you want. I can definitely put some fruit before I can put a stem. They can go in any order that you like. So I'm going to go ahead and put a stem on top of my roots. And to show you what that looks like when you stack them. It looks like this. Okay. So I have played 2. My turn is done. Next person goes. They draw 2. They play 2. It is now my turn. And I notice that my opponent has put some stem bugs matching my stem right here on my plant. Now at this point, according to the card, I cannot grow this plant any further until I get rid of these bugs. So on my turn, I'm going to put some good bugs, some beneficial bugs, on them stem bugs and immediately discard that card so that I can begin growing my plant again. At some point, let's just say that I put a fruit on my plant in my garden here. And let's say that one of my opponents put a fruit disease directly on my fruit. Now with diseases are a little bit different than bugs. Bugs stick around and they block your plant growth. Diseases immediately kill things. So this fruit disease is going to kill out my fruit from my plant unless I have a cure. So if I don't have a cure, it immediately gets discarded. If I do have a cure, I play it immediately. It says that here. So I have neem oil. Then I'm going to place on that fruit disease and discard it. So my fruit, which I just discarded by accident, my fruit is unaffected by that disease. Now, as you get going, you're growing your multiple. You can grow multiple different colors or same colors of plants as you wish. You could grow 5 if you want. It doesn't matter. You could grow 1 large plant if you wanted to do that across the table. Once I place this flower, I don't know if you can read it, but I'm going to place this flower top, a matching blue flower top to the blue roots on top. My plant is now immune to bugs and disease. So the opponents can no longer place bugs or disease on this particular plant. So that one is safe. But I've now locked it in to only having 6 points because I have a stem and a fruit. I have 6 points. That's all that plant is worth. The whole point of the game is to amass as many points as you possibly can, or to grow 3 plants without having anybody else have points. So there's one caveat. Let's just say that I had grown 3 plants. I am now shutting out the game. I have amassed several points here. I'm now shutting out the game, which gives everyone one more turn to see if they can beat my point value before the game is over. So I've shut the game out. They have one more rotation. At this point, my opponent doesn't think they're going to win or have more points, which in most games would be a defeating thing. You might as well just give up. However, in this game, you have things such as lawnmowers that can take out flower tops and be discarded, which makes my plants vulnerable again, and it opens the game back up. So the game has not ended yet. So you can continue to play. However, again, there's a cure for everything. I have a fence. I put that fence around. It kills the lawnmower. My flowers are still okay because they didn't get mowed down. And game over. I have the most points, or someone else has the most points, and that's it. So if you have any further questions, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions that come up. Go ahead and consult the instructions that came with it. And if you have any further questions, go ahead and feel free to contact me in the comments. And happy playing. Hope you have a good time playing this game.